Brynn, the city where Jonna's journey began. Today, she walks these streets as one of the most powerful sorceresses in Aldor. Yet there was a time when these same walls saw her as nothing. This was the city where she was judged, where she was told what she could never become, where they tried to take away everything that gave meaning to her life. And before Brynn learns why Jonna has returned, we must go back to where it all began. First came Osbrook, the first chapter of Jonna's journey. Far from the powerful sorceress she would one day become, she arrived carrying scars that no spell could heal. Haunted by her past, burdened by fear, unsure whether she truly belonged in the world she was trying to survive. In those early days, her greatest enemy was not bandits, beasts, or the dangers lurking in the wilderness. It was fear itself. Fear clouded her judgment. Tension consumed her focus. Every battle became a struggle between survival and panic. More than once, Jonna found herself standing only a step away from death. With every hardship she endured, something began to change. Each victory, no matter how small, chipped away at the chains that bound her. The road ahead remained uncertain, but for the first time, Jonna was no longer running from her fears. She was learning to face them. And that path would eventually lead her to Manshire. For the first time since leaving Brynn, Jonna began to find something she had long been denied. Not power, not knowledge, but trust. The fears that once controlled her had not disappeared entirely, but they no longer dictated every decision she made. With each dungeon cleared and each challenge overcome, her confidence continued to grow. The dangers became greater, the battles longer. The consequences of failure far more severe. Yet Jonna continued moving forward, not because she no longer felt fear, but because she had learned to act despite it. Beyond the roads of Manshire lay new mysteries. Ancient caves, forgotten places. Challenges that demanded more than simple survival. Each step into the unknown tested her resolve and expanded her understanding of both the world and herself. Then came one of her greatest trials. The ancient troll, a foe capable of ending the journey of even experienced adventurers. Yet the frightened sorceress who once struggled to survive in Osbrook no longer existed. Jonna stood her ground and emerged victorious. But Manshire offered her something even more valuable than victory. She found people who did not judge her for what she was, people who saw her worth, people who believed in her. The support she never received in Brynn became the foundation upon which she rebuilt herself. And as her confidence grew, so too did the power she wielded. Though neither Jonna nor those around her realized it yet, the next challenge would not come from fear. It would come from success itself. Rotten Willow. By now, Jonna had overcome many of the fears that once controlled her. She had survived impossible odds, defeated powerful foes, earned recognition. She truly believed in herself. But confidence left unchecked can become just as dangerous as fear. At first, the signs were subtle: a more aggressive approach, a willingness to take risks, the belief that every challenge could be overcome through sheer power alone. Jonna did not realize it yet, but the victories that had rebuilt her were beginning to push her toward a new extreme. One battle at a time, the warning signs became harder to ignore. She stayed in fights longer than she should have, forced confrontations that could have been avoided, trusted her strength more than her judgment. Jonna understood what was happening. But recognizing the problem was only the beginning. The real challenge was finding balance, not suppressing confidence, not returning to fear, but allowing both strength and caution to coexist. Slowly, Jonna began to understand. Every battle became an opportunity to refine herself, every decision a chance to strengthen the delicate balance she sought to achieve. The magnetic field she wished to create was not built through power alone. It was built through control. And that realization would guide her through the trials that followed. The church, the tablet, the ritual, each challenge demanding not greater power, but greater discipline. Her balance was still imperfect, still deliberate, still something she had to consciously maintain. Yet for the first time, Jonna was no longer fighting her emotions. She was learning how to guide them. With balance finally within her grasp, Jonna's journey entered a new chapter. The lessons learned in Rotten Willow were no longer something she had to discover. Now, they had to become part of who she was. Her first steps into this new stage began in Den Bree. There, she faced one of the greatest challenges of her career so far, her first Tier 4 dungeon. Against the proselytes, every lesson she had learned was put to the test. Power alone was no longer enough. Every decision mattered. Every mistake carried consequences. And yet, she prevailed. As her journey continued, Jonna traveled alongside the people who had become her family. Together, they pushed deeper into the wilds of Aldor, confronting the dangers that still threatened its people. The corrupted lands surrounding Rotten Willow were filled with powerful foes, and the challenges awaiting them grew greater with every step. But so did Jonna. The balance she once struggled to maintain consciously was becoming instinct, natural, part of her very being. The stronger her emotions became, the greater the power she could channel, not through excess, but through control. Among her many trials stood another challenge that few would ever forget: the Manticore, a creature feared across Aldor. Rather than seeking to destroy the beast, Jonna searched for another path. Through study, determination, and perseverance, she succeeded where many would have failed. She saved Venomist, and with every trial overcome, Jonna moved closer to her final destination, the most dangerous dungeons in Aldor. And it is there that we finally witness the true potential of the sorceress standing before Brynn today. The first of them was Fort Grey Falcon. Once a fortress built to protect the surrounding lands, it had long since fallen into the hands of deserters and brigands. Its walls no longer sheltered the people of Aldor. They preyed upon them. Within its halls stood seasoned fighters, veteran soldiers, mercenaries, warriors skilled in every form of combat. But this was no longer the frightened sorceress who had arrived in Osbrook. Every movement was calculated, no longer reacting to danger. Now she controlled it. And when her emotions finally reached perfect balance, only the sound of thunder remained. The power Jonna unleashed reduced her enemies to ashes. The next challenge was the Triune Hand Necropolis, a place once built to honor the dead, now corrupted by dark cults and filled with restless souls unable to find peace. For most adventurers, such a place would be a nightmare, an endless tide of undead, creatures that refuse to stay down. But by now, Jonna had become something far more dangerous than the horrors lurking beneath the crypts. The undead possessed neither strategy nor discipline, only numbers, and numbers alone were no longer enough. Those who could not outmaneuver her, those who could not pressure her position, those who could not break through her defenses, never stood a chance. Wave after wave collapsed beneath storms of lightning, and with every spell unleashed, the necropolis grew quieter. The final challenge awaited within the Chapel of Holy Terror. Unlike the undead of the necropolis, these enemies were far from mindless. Disciplined, relentless, deadly. The cultists and warriors inhabiting these ruins possessed every tool needed to bring down a sorcerer. They could close the distance in seconds, weaken their victims with curses, drain life from their enemies, and punish even the smallest mistake. For the first time since entering the great dungeons of Aldor, Jonna found herself facing opponents capable of matching her intensity. One mistake could quickly become fatal. Yet these were precisely the kinds of battles that revealed how far she had come. The frightened sorceress of Osbrook would have been overwhelmed. The overconfident adventurer of Rotten Willow would have rushed headfirst into disaster. But the Jonna standing here now was neither. She fought with patience, and when the chapel unleashed its greatest horror upon her, even that proved insufficient to stop her. For this was no longer a sorceress searching for balance. This was a sorceress who had mastered it. The dungeons of Aldor had been conquered, and yet one chapter remained unfinished. A battle against the very idea that had haunted her since the beginning. The belief that power belongs only to a chosen few. That fear should decide who may learn, who may grow, who may become more than what the world expects them to be. Now it was Brynn's turn to learn the lesson. For every dream they tried to bury, for every life they sought to control, Jonna had only one answer: lightning. Once, Jonna stood before the city with nothing. No power, no confidence, no place to call home. Today, she leaves behind a lesson Brynn will never forget.